Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a Jeep Wrangler Sport that not only has hand crank windows, but you actually have to like stick the key in the door to unlock it. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this Wrangler. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 20 around town and then 20 on the highway, with power outputs being 270 horsepower and then 295 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go with the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So first off, starting with the hood on the Sport, you guys can see that pretty basic overall, but this one is finished in Earl Grey, which is cool. Got the cool lights on the turn signal indicator side of things. Then you guys can see with the halogen headlights, Jeep's signature grille here. And then you guys can see you've got tow hooks there on the bumper. Then we also have fog lights as well. And putting it all together, let me know what you guys think about the looks here on the new Wrangler. Now our tire and wheel setup is 245, 75, 17 in the front and over in the rear. And I like how the wheels are all blacked out. I think that's actually a really cool look for the Wrangler. And you guys can see the giant fender flares that the Wrangler is kind of famous for. And then we do still have, even though this is a Sport, it's kind of hard to see, a solid front axle. And then notice the badges on the side are also blacked out. Same thing with the mirror caps, door handles, and even the hardtop. And then here's your full side view on the Wrangler Sport. Now here's a quick look at the key fob. You guys can see you've got a little flip out key right there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, just has the Jeep logo, no lock or unlock on it. Now opening up the hatch, super light, and then this is pretty easy to open up as well. Being a 4-door, we've got plenty of storage space here in the back. Also notice how this is all painted here at the top, which is pretty cool. And then when you're all done, just plop the window down and throw that back into place. Really cool look here with the tail lights, and you guys can see the recovery hook here on the back end, and then spare tire as well. And putting it all together, I think this looks really cool in this new Earl Grey color. Now popping inside, you guys can see we've got padding here on the armrest, and then you've got a little storage pocket down below. And yes, this does have hand crank windows. Man, the nostalgia. Now taking a look at the seats, you guys can see you've got the contrasted stitching on the cloth seats. And then legroom here in the back is actually really good. We also have a little storage pocket, got some vents here in the center, and then you guys can see cup holders down below. And headroom back here is also really good. Now taking a look at the front door panel again, you've got the padding, also hand crank window action, and then there's a quick look at the mirrors. I noticed that pretty much all the Wranglers have 850 pounds of payload capacity, kind of interesting. But anyways, here's the front seat. Again, you can see that the stitching, I like the contrast stitching, and the seat is manually adjustable. And then you guys can see with the light controls, you do have fog lights as well. And then you've got the adjustment for the steering wheel, which is also manual. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, again pretty basic with the material use. We do have radio controls though on the back. We also have cruise control, controls for center stack, voice command, phone controls, and then your regular stocks there on the back. And then here's a look at the gauge cluster. You guys can see analog on either side, and then you got that screen there in the center which you can use to see different bits of vehicle information. Pretty standard stuff. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera, and then you guys can see the Jeep logo off to the side, but yeah, resolution's pretty solid. Now I find it hilarious that as base as this is, like hand crank windows, it still has a giant infotainment screen. But anyways, response time with the screen's pretty dang solid. You guys can see, yeah, I mean, pulls up stuff at a pretty quick pace. And then we do have single zone climate for those of you that are wondering. And then again, pretty basic on the dash there, but this part right here, again, fancy looking. For a more baseline package, got the grab handle there, and then down below we've got our analog controls here for the radio climate system as well. And again, this has AC also. It's another kind of thing. Anyways, we've got some USB action, 4 auxiliary switches for auxiliary items, shifter for that 8-speed automatic. Got your 12 volt here, your drive line select. So we have 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high, neutral, 4-wheel low. Got some cup holder action, parking brake, and the center console. Good storage space. And then with the glove box, yeah, it's a normal Jeep glove box. This does have a manual mirror dimmer. And then being the hard top, you've got little latches right there to pull off the top piece or the front pieces. The back, you do have to use tools. So like I said, 2024 Sport. Base MSRP is $35,895, and you can see that it does come with a big screen. Even Yeah, that's just standard equipment. We do have some options. Anti-lock disc brakes, I guess that those are an option on this. Wow, crazy world. Anyways, you guys can see the rest of the options on this particular one. Total MSRP is $44,240. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, and throughout the rest of the rear. Let us set off. I guess we're fuel low, so we'll, you know, we'll take it easy with the test drive. Oh my gosh! Guess what, guys? Yep, got to do this. If you want to adjust the mirror, oh man, I'm sure some of you just like had the biggest nostalgia kick of your life. You're like, oh, it's been so long. But yeah, setting off initially here in this Wrangler. This is what, the second one I've reviewed today so far. I reviewed a Rubicon just before this, and then I'm reviewing another Sport. That one's a two-door with the soft top. I think it's probably gonna be like the least expensive Wrangler that I'll review. It'd be interesting to see the price, because I mean this one's still in the $40,000 range, so I wonder if that two-door will be less than $40,000. That'd be pretty cool if it ends up being that way. I will say the key for the two-door does not have keyless entry either, so I have hopes that it'll be very, very inexpensive with the price. But even this base Wrangler, you can tell it's more insulated than before. It's got this more kind of, it's still Wrangler, so it's not full on luxury, but it's got more of a luxury experience, at least with the insulation, I guess is the best way to put it. Ride quality is pretty good too. Compared to the Rubicon, not as comfortable though, but I mean, that makes sense. The Rubicon has better shocks. The Rubicon also has bigger tires, which is going to help out with damping. I put that mirror in the worst. I thought I fixed the adjustment. I made it worse. Well, that just shows my skill with adjusting a manual mirror. Those of you that are pros at that, you can make fun of me in the comment section below all you want. Braking's good though. I will say I like this Turbo 2.0 a lot. I know a lot of people are diehard about the 3.6 V6, but I think the 2.0 it's really good, especially here at higher elevation. We're at like 4,300 feet here. That's what the inclinometer says with the Jeeps, and yeah, it moves really well. Look at that. It's just solid with the power. It's quite impressive, honestly. And the power band's smooth too, overall. I think that's kind of another really big plus. I like the steering too. The steering seems more direct now. A little bit less floaty. Yeah, so much torque. Gotta love the torque that this has. So, to sum things up, you know, I love this Earl Grey color, and the Sport, like, obviously doesn't look as cool as something like a Rubicon, but still a Wrangler. Wranglers just inherently look cool. So overall, I think this is cool. I will say though, I think this is super gimmicky, like at least how this is set up. I mean, come on, like hand crank windows, manual mirrors, manual seats, no keyless entry, but then you have this huge 12-inch screen. I mean, come on. They could have at least, like, if you're gonna go like all out with the basicness, you gotta at least do like no screen or tiny screen. Like, this is like, it's so weird. It's kind of reminds me of like the 911 GT3 RS and stuff like that, where they'll do like basically like the little grab handles, like the cloth, instead of like a regular door handle, to like show how minimalist and race car it is. And it's like, okay, come on, this is a $300,000 car, come on. And same thing, it's like, this is a $40,000 Jeep. I mean, yeah, but still, nostalgia.